Well, good morning. Trucker Todd here, and time for another video. All right, folks, I know it's been a while, and I've been holding off on making a video because I've been trying to fix things behind the scenes. It hasn't worked. I'm really upset. I've been contemplating going to other companies. You guys know that. I haven't made a final decision about if I'm going to do that or not, but honestly, I'm so upset. It's after midnight right now when I'm filming this that I can't even sleep. And I've got to be here in the morning for a delivery. I'm parked at the place. So it's going to be a night of not a lot of sleep. Fortunately, I don't have to drive a whole lot tomorrow. And so I can sleep tomorrow if I need to. So if you call me and I don't answer, that's why. So there's a lot of reasons I'm frustrated with dark transit right now. And I thought I would take an opportunity this Friday. I hate to do this on a weekend and tell you guys some of what's been going on. Now, you guys know I like to keep these videos between 10 and 15 minutes. So it's very, very, very possible that I'm not going to be able to give you a clear, concise picture in a 10 to 15 minute time span. But I'm going to do my best to tell you what I can, and then we'll carry this on into next week, including I'm going to go ahead and release the 3 videos that I originally pulled because the problem was fixed. Those will be coming out in upcoming weeks. I'm going to postpone doing the Wednesday 60-second rant videos because we've got a lot of information we need to get out there for you guys. It's going to sound like I'm contradicting myself. DART is still a great company, still a great place to work, but as you know, I'm on the OPI board, and because of that, a lot of the problems I have are specifically because I'm on that board, and they either don't want to deal with things or don't know how to deal with things. But let's go ahead and jump on it. Before we do, you guys give this video a thumbs up. Please, please, please share this video on your social media platform. We need to get the word out there so that these kind of problems don't happen to other drivers. Look down in the description below. You'll find a lot of great information down there. And let's not waste any more time. Let's jump into today's video. Here we go.
And this is why I do this, why I'm out here, why I keep that hammer down. Flying by these road signs with home on my mind. These wheels turning round for my family and for my kids, for this life I wanna live. And this is why I do this.
Okay, I want to start with the thing that probably bothers me the most. And you guys know, I don't deny it, I'm crazy about when I get cheated on money. It doesn't take much. I'll quit a company over $50. I realize that I'm unreasonable about it, but when a company says, yes, we know we owe you, but we're not going to pay you, it drives me bonkers. And so I've been trying to work behind the scenes. You guys know I've got a really great deal here. You guys know I like it here. I've been trying to work behind the scenes and get these things fixed, and it hasn't worked. So let me tell you what happened within the course of a Monday through Friday a couple of weeks ago. And I took a lot of time off to really think about this. So I'm delivering a load, and it has a lumper. So I send a message, hey, I need an EFS check for $245. They sent the check like normal, no problem. A couple of minutes later, another check came for $580. I immediately called them, hey, this ain't mine. I think y'all sent it to the wrong truck. No problem. Now, this is with my fleet manager. This wasn't with a night or weekend person. No problem. We'll get that off of you. Hung up. A couple minutes later, another $245 check came. I called her back again, said, hey, there's another $245 check on here that's not mine. She said, I already saw it. I got it taken care of. Don't worry about it. Everything's going to be fine. Well, I settled that day, and guess what happened? This was on a Monday. They charged me the $580, which I never got. reimbursed it like it was the lumper expense, and then charged me another $245 that wasn't reimbursed. Well, it was after 4. Fleet manager had gone home. I don't know why they do that. There should be a fleet manager there during business hours, because you call in with a payroll issue and they've already gone home. And the night people are like, well, you'll have to call back tomorrow. And it's a big kick the can down the road thing. So I called, they have a driver retention guy. I called him. I'm not going to say his name on here. You guys know I don't do that. I don't throw people's name out there because they're not here to defend themselves. He says, Todd, I see exactly what you're saying. He said, this is weird. He says, they owe you somewhere between $251 because he thought they charged an EFS fee for lumpers. We found out later they don't, of $3. And there was 2 of those extra, so he figured $6 on top of the $245 would be $251. And he said, I'm a little confused about the $580. They may owe you that too, so they could owe you as much as $851. So we're somewhere between $251 and $831, I think's what he said. He said, but it's too complicated for me. It's late in the day. Let me get with the head of payroll, and I'll call you back on Tuesday, the next day. All right, fine. I understand. Mistakes happen. Let's do it. Well, nobody called me the next morning. Late in the afternoon, I mean 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, they called me and they said, we got it figured out. And I knew right then I was going to get screwed because it took too long to get an answer on this. And they said, we paid you the $580 and then we reimbursed it. And I'm like, no, I never received the $580. I don't have an EFS check. I don't have nothing. Well, anyway, that's taken care of. And we charged you the $245. So we're going to take the $580 from the $245, and you still owe us $345 we're going to take out of your check today. Now, I don't get that. 3 checks were written. 1 went to the lumper. The other 2 got canceled, but I got charged for them. So not only did I not get money that day, I got charged $345. Now, that's a pretty big swing from 24 hours or 18 hours earlier, whatever it was, because 18 hours earlier, we were somewhere between $251 and $831, okay? We swung all the way to negative, so that's an $1,100 swing right there from $831 to negative $345. And I got so mad, I couldn't talk no more. I hung up on them because they weren't going to pay me. They just, that's the way it is. Now, this morning I am going to call my fleet manager one more time. I'm not expecting anything, and that's why this video is going out. Because without a doubt, without a question, I got screwed and cheated out of money by Dart Transit. Whether intentional, whether not intentional, whether somebody pocketed $580 at my expense. And probably another $245. I don't know who. I'm not pointing fingers. I'm not going to cast blame. But I definitely got screwed in that deal. And there's more deals. So here's what's going to happen. And we're going to continue with the story. But I'm going to release those 3 old videos because what we've got now is, even though they fixed those other problems, we've got a pattern of deception and a reluctance to fix it. I've mentioned it to several people here, and nobody wants to fix the problem because their paychecks were fine. Trucker Todd makes plenty of money. We can screw him. So, okay, same day, I go to Love's to get an oil change. Truck's due for an oil change. I'm sitting in the truck. Guy starts working. After 30 minutes, they call him on a road call. All right. Another guy starts on my truck. He works about 10 minutes. He goes, hey, we got to have your keys while we're working on your truck. No problem. I gave him my keys. I'm sitting there. Another 10 minutes goes by. He comes over. Hey, you can't be in the truck while we're doing the oil change. I said, hey, I don't want to get out of the truck because every time I do, something gets forgotten to get done, or somehow I don't get what I paid for. Well, we've already taken your truck apart, so you can't leave and or refuse service or whatever. You got to get out of the truck. So I got out of the truck. I went in the office. I called Dart. Dart agreed with me. Hey, you should be able to watch your truck being serviced. We're going to call them. Well, they called them. Nothing happened. Anyway, let's progress the story. So I'm sitting there. He comes back in a couple hours later. It's a third guy now. So there's been at least 3 guys work on my truck now. And that's what always happens, and then something gets missed. Because guy A will say, I did this, this, and this, but I haven't done this, this, and this. He'll pass it on to the next guy. Guy B will say, well, I've done this and this, and he'll pass it on to C, and somewhere in there something always gets missed. So we go out there, I start the truck. It is knocking bad. And so I shut it off. I'm upset, visibly upset. I said, see, this is why I wanted to be in the truck. And I said, is there oil in it? He says, yeah, the dipstick's got oil in it. I said, all right, look underneath. Is the drain plug in it? He said, yeah. I said, all right, then you guys need to figure out why my truck's knocking. I got out of the truck, went back in the office, called Dart Road Ready. All right, now, here's where it gets interesting. I said, hey, they just had me crank my truck. It's knocking. Guess what Road Ready says? Well, what's your concern? After the initial shock wore off, I said, well, obviously my concern is they've ruined a $40,000 engine in a brand new truck. And he's like, well, what do you want me to do about it? I don't know. You're a large company. Maybe call your rep at Love's and tell them we need some documentation, because probably a couple of months from now, this truck's going to need a $40,000 engine. We need some documentation. Well, my supervisor looked at it and it didn't pull an engine code, so it's probably fine. I said, would you say that if it was a company truck and you were on the hook financially? I said, no, you'd want to play it safe. And they, well, Todd, we're not going to do nothing about it. Okay. So I called the VP of maintenance, a great guy that I've had great success with in the past. So he goes back and listens to the phone call, and he says, well, Todd, I don't think they've done anything wrong. And I'm like, what kind of guys are y'all hiring if you call them and say your engine's knocking and they say, what's your concern? And what kind of customer service are they providing if they say, well, what do you want me to do about it? But anyway, that was a wasted phone call. The VP of maintenance was not interested in addressing the issues. Anyway, while I was in this debate, the mechanic comes back in and says, hey, I figured out the problem. We forgot to put a air dryer filter back on it when we took the old one off. Now, I was relieved in a way because at least my engine wasn't ruined, but I was frustrated in a way because we had 60-mile-an-hour winds in Lubbock that day. The dust was blowing, so it's very possible we sucked dirt up into my air dryer. The air dryer on these Peterbilts is back there kind of under the fifth wheel, under the catwalk in that general area. And so it's low to the ground. It's easy to suck up dirt. And let's just be honest, these shop floors aren't the cleanest in the world anyway. So those two things happened right there close together, and I've just been really frustrated. There's a lot more we're going to get to on Monday's video. We're going to talk about, I was telling them, my fleet manager, I spend more time with collections with Dart than I do any other task except driving. I spend more time doing that than I do pre-trips. I spend more time than that making videos. I spend more time than that on all this other stuff. None of it compares to what I spend on collections. Sometimes 3 or 4 weeks trying to get $30 back here, $80 back here. And so I know some of you are going to say, well, Todd, why don't you just let it go? It's just $30, just $80, just $150. Why don't you let it go? Well, that stuff adds up. That's exactly why they try to get out of paying you. Because if they can do that to 100 drivers a day, think of all the money they pocket. And in these tough economic times, when fuel prices are what they are, they're going to cut corners and save money wherever they can. And so I'm having a real problem with the ethics and morality that I'm seeing right now. And we're going to have a lot more to go. This is far from over. Like I said, I'm going to call my fleet manager again this morning, try again. But regardless of what happens, I think it's time these videos come out, because sometimes you need to shine a light on a cockroach. And I know I've said in past videos I don't want to shine a light on a cockroach. I've had some smaller YouTubers take some pot shots at me, and I just ignore them, stay above the fray. But I think I've avoided the fray for so long, it's time for me to get back in it. So you guys, make sure you're subscribed. There's going to be a lot more to come. And if you stuck with me this far in the video, I really appreciate you. Thanks for everything. We'll see you on Monday. Take care. Bye-bye.